This video is brought to you by Squarespace. By my late 30s, I thought that I figured myself out, more or less. But now I'm 42 and I'm quite different from that me, in many ways. Not drastically, but still. And most of those changes I've proudly done to myself. I was the agent. Some of them were reactions to external circumstances, some were caused by inner calling. In this video, I'll share with you 5 things that I've changed in order to improve my life. Maybe you can relate to these or some of these, maybe not. Let's see. I will be utterly honest because I have nothing to hide really, and there is no need in pretending to be someone that I'm not. For almost my entire life, I was embarrassed of my naturally melancholic essence. I was born like this. I'm not a super social, bubbly, joyful type of person. Of course, I have my moments of joy, many of them, but they are on a subtler and quieter side. Yet, as I grew up, I began to absorb the social rule that nobody likes or enjoys a company of a melancholic woman. I still remember so vividly 2 instances when I was told things that sounded like, "My dear, when you have a dark cloud hanging over your head, I don't have any desire to deal with it. You go, work on it, and then come back, okay?" And every man wants a chirping chick by his side. That's the evolutionary truth. The latter was especially derogatory, and it came from a person for who I didn't have any respect whatsoever, but for some reason, those statements stuck with me, and for many years they have guided my social and romantic life until they didn't. Let's make it clear, by melancholy I don't mean clinical depression, and I'm not a specialist. I'm not giving any medical advice or mental health advice on this channel. Please remember this. Melancholy itself has a very interesting history, and if you're curious, there are plenty of resources online, and I will leave a very comprehensive article in the description section in case you're interested. For centuries, melancholy within the Christian tradition, melancholy was considered a sin. Then it has become an attractive trait of some men, but not women. Historically, women's melancholy was either dismissed as hysteria or romanticized as fragility, but never it was granted the same intellectual weight as male's sorrow. In literature, male melancholics like Hamlet or Goethe's Werther or philosophers of despair, their pain symbolizing depth. Meanwhile, female sadness was pathologized. Ophelia's drowning was reduced to madness and not grief. Even Freud framed female melancholy as the envy of men, while male melancholy was existential. The message was clear: a sad man is a thinker, while a sad woman is a problem. Now the right to melancholy is not denied outright, but it's often commodified and demanded to be photogenic or productive. And hence is the change that I've opted for. I have reclaimed my right to be a melancholic woman, and this decision has brought me so much comfort, self-validation, and freedom. Even here on my channel, most of the videos wear a veil of melancholy, just as my art does. And this melancholy or sadness or toska, whatever you want to name it, is an integral part of me. It's not some third-party intruder. It's not sickness that I need to fix. And people who don't like this melancholic air of mine are free to have their opinion elsewhere. And yeah, it's as simple as that. this is my daytime job. I mean, this is my full-time job. I still have no idea how, but my work as a creative has been sustaining me more or less over the past 3 years. But only recently I have decided to completely quit my embarrassment about how I make money and how much money I make. And a spoiler, it's not a lot. Far from that. I made a video on Patreon with exact figures and it was released last year, but the situation has not changed since then. It's pretty much the same. And yeah, Patreon is my biggest and most reliable source of income. On that platform I post more personal videos every week, and it's the people's support there and on other tipping platforms that make all my creative work possible. For years, I've been carrying that subtle shame about monetizing my creativity, as if putting price on my thoughts somehow cheapened them. There is that very toxic myth that real art or insights should be out there purely for love and altruism, that money taints authenticity. But I've come to see that it's a form of self-sabotage, some sort of leftovers from that romanticized idea of a starving artist or a wise woman who gives her gifts freely. History tells us that even the most revered thinkers, from Virginia Woolf selling her essays to Rilke accepting patronage, understood that survival and creativity aren't opposing forces. When we dismiss the financial worth of our thoughts, we reinforce the idea that them, and by extension us, do not deserve to thrive. And now I embrace value in my own voice, and money in this context is the acknowledgement that my perspective has at least some weight in this world. There is a difference between whispering into the void and engaging in an exchange where energy flows both ways. And of course, capitalism makes everything more complicated, but the core truth remains. Being compensated for your mind is a form of respect. And this change in framing was so groundbreaking for me because it allowed to create from a sense of abundance, not from scarcity, and from being who I am, being a sovereign person of mine. I have always relied on my intuition more. Of course, I would give reasoning its place, but that subtle inner feeling was always a priority. Yet, however confident I was in the moment of taking some decision, later I would almost inevitably begin to doubt my own decision that has been made already. Did I make the right call immigrating this way? Should I have taken my channel in a different direction? Was that financial leap a necessity, or it could have been avoided? These questions lingered and multiplied, especially when I compared myself to others who had faced similar crossroads. Their path seemed so much clearer to me, their choices looked more validated than mine that I thought were like gambling. And the weight of second guessing was exhausting. So I did something radical. I banned the doubts. Just because I realized that questioning after the fact didn't serve any other purpose than simply draining me. Intuition isn't infallible. It's a living, evolving sense that is shaped by our experience and instinct. And distrusting it retrospectively is like distrusting myself It's a form of self-betrayal that I refuse to entertain anymore. Every choice, even the most messy ones, have made me who I am at the moment. The alternative, paralysis by analysis, or worse, letting fear dictate my future, is far more costly than any mistake that my intuition would have led me to. And so I've made peace with the unknown and the decisions that I'm taking in regards to that unknown. For a very long time, I had that vague yet still ever-present resistance to changes, especially to the most drastic and transformative ones that felt like a one-way ticket and presupposed that there was no option of coming back. The thought that you can always go back to a certain place or a certain point of your life or a certain person or the older version of yourself, that what you're going through is not forever, that it's just a transition and it can be played back. This thought, that mindset, is an illusion, and it's a very dangerous illusion because it makes us insensitive to the flow of time. This year happens to be one of the most transformative ones in my life, not that much externally, but internally. I'm finally accepting the fact that there is no way back for me. I don't have a place, a time to go back, that Stephen King's Langle years have devoured my past, and there is no point of return. I am ready to fully embrace changes and challenges that come with them. Life is not meant to be static, and even the sweetest moments lose their luster if we try to freeze them in time. Comfort zones have an expiration date, and what felt safe today can become stagnant tomorrow if we don't keep moving and questioning and shedding what no longer serves us. And the more I surrender to this rhythm, the more I realize that the beauty of life is in the courage to flow with the current, even when and if the water gets rough. I remember the day when I turned 20 as if it was yesterday, and back then it was impossible for me to imagine what it would be like to become a 30-year-old woman or a 40-year-old one. It was just impossible. It was like imagining a color that didn't exist in nature, like imagining an abstract concept of something unknown. And of course, by that time, I had in my mind some generalized idea what a 40-year-old woman should be like, inevitably. But of course, all my concepts and pictures had nothing to do with the reality. The truth is that I didn't become a 30-year-old woman or a 40-year-old woman. I kept being myself, but just with more stories and more subtle changes. That's it. Society loves to handle us scripts like get your career sorted out by this age, or become a mother by this, or unlock your serenity by this age. But life has nothing to do with these scripts. Growing older is not about squeezing yourself into some predefined role, but it's about expanding into your own unique and unapologetic shape. I'm not embarrassed to buy myself a toy bunny and knit a sweater for him. I'm not embarrassed to not have at least one pair of elegant shoes that a good 40-year-old woman is supposed to have, I guess. I'm not embarrassed to still have skin blemishes like I'm 16 and proudly wear them without masking. People who are willing to lock themselves up in an age cage have their reasoning, maybe, but I refuse to join their company. And on this note, I want to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace, for supporting such deep and important conversations. Squarespace is an all-in-one website building platform that makes it effortless to bring your ideas to life online. Whether you're an artist, entrepreneur, or small business owner, Squarespace offers cutting-edge design with stunning templates that look professional right from the start. No coding is required, just your creativity. Plus, it provides easy and seamless ways to run a small business, from accepting payments to managing inventory and selling products. If you are ready to bring your ideas to life, go to squarespace.com/Anna Goldberg for a free trial. And when you are ready to launch, use my code Anna Goldberg to save 10% of your first purchase of a website or domain. Those were 5 of a few things that I've changed in myself in order to live more intentionally. And maybe you are sick and tired of this intentionality thing, but I truly cannot find any other word that would perfectly describe this way of living. When you pause, stop, and contemplate long enough to ask yourself, is that what I'm doing aligning with who I am or who I am becoming? It means choosing where to put your energy instead of letting distractions and other people's agenda dictate your choices. Yes, the word is severely overused, but it's because the hunger for it is real. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section, whether you can relate to all or some of the things that I've talked about today, or maybe you want to let us know about the changes that you've introduced in yourself to make your life more intentional. It will be super interesting to read and connect. Thank you so much for your time and support of my work and your attention. I value it so much, dear friends. And for now, as always, be safe and keep your heart open. And I will see you soon. Пока-пока.